So to check your phone
instead.
Well,
all right. Good morning. We are pretty sure we are live.
I'm going
to
check.
Going to check on our phones, but welcome to Workshop Wednesday. We all get to the point in our business where we run out of our warm market, and we really need to start expanding and growing and building in our cold market outside of the people that we know, right? So we're super excited to bring you Workshop Wednesday today, how to turn perfect strangers into passionate business builders with easy to use online sales megaphones. If this is your first time tuning in with us, I'm Mike.
And I'm Carla.
We're with mikeandcarla.ca and Rise Marketing Academy, and we help people build their business using the power of social media and actual marketing skills. Drop us a line. Let us know where you're tuning in from.
Live.
Love to connect with everybody in the community, even if it's on the replay. Drop us a hashtag replay. We will circle back and give you a shout out. So guys, we are excited about this. This is kind of an extension from what we trained at on Digital Marketer Live this weekend. We really want to dive into how you can turn perfect strangers into passionate business builders.
All right, so let's get in there. Okay, sorry, Mike's got to press the button here. Okay, so question for everybody. Do you recognize the store? I don't know, I can't get the comments up. So question for everybody is, do you recognize this store right here? Anyway, I'm going to keep talking while Mike messes with my tech. Okay, so tell us in the comments below, take it your wildest guess, what do you think this store is? Okay, and I'll pause for a couple of seconds so the comments can come in, which we can't really see right now. So
I'm working on it.
Mike's working on it, but he's got my phone and my phone just doesn't work whenever he touches it. So, okay, so what happens when you visit this particular store? What's usually your experience like? Well, for us, we get into this store called IKEA, and right away we start to follow a path, right? And everything is set up in a series, and you twist and you turn throughout the store for a reason, right? So you're kind of funneled through the entire showroom before you reach the place where you go and you grab all your pellets, and then you see a whole bunch of things along the way that you could also get, and then you get to the till and you wait, and there's a whole bunch more things, right? So you usually end up buying more than you went there for.
Yeah, drop us a 2. If by the time you've made it through that maze, through all that stuff, you end up at the till and you're like, wow, I have a lot more than I anticipated.
Yes. Okay, so the same thing might happen. I mean, so we're from Canada. We don't have Trader Joe's here, but we've been to Trader Joe's before. The same thing might happen in this particular grocery store, right? So everything in the grocery store is spread apart. So your eggs are further away from your meat, so that you have to go through the whole store to get what you need, which again, you kind of end up with more. And then you get to the till and, ooh, it looks like there's some pretty good stuff at the till that I grabbed too.
Every store, and when you get to the till, what is positioned? Usually there's another little bit of a pathway you have to follow to get you to the till. And on each side of that path, they've thrown more and more stuff to catch your eye, right?
So this is all clever in the grocery store and the IKEA land, but it's actually really good for your business because there's something that you can take from this shopping experience and apply it to your business, right? So this is kind of what we're alluding to as a process, a buying process that someone goes through, and we call it a sales megaphone. And we'll break that down in a minute versus what you might have heard before, the term funnel, right? Yep. Okay, so what we're going to cover today.
So what is a sales megaphone? So typically we talk about what is a sales funnel, but we're going to dive into that. So how does a sales megaphone help your business? The 3 biggest mistakes with megaphones and low-tech free megaphone examples you can swipe from us and put into play into your business literally today.
Exactly. Okay, so we did a little bit of who we were kind of at the beginning, but in case you haven't met us before, again, we'll do it 2 seconds. As you can see on the screen, healthcare marketer, entrepreneur, and we are here to help you avoid pitfalls, and we're going to share what works today. Okay, so a sales megaphone is a step-by-step process that transforms people from perfect strangers to customers to advocates. And we like to use this, and if you can see this little birthday hat here, and flipping it from what could be a traditional sales funnel where people come in, the strangers come in, they get to know you, and then they become customers and advocates right here, to a megaphone where people come in, get to know you, become your customers, and they start to spread the word. So it turns into this, you're not doing all the heavy lifting, right?
Yeah. When your funnel turns into a megaphone, you start having people cheering for you, sharing your business, sharing the results they've been getting, and becoming that advocate for you to start propelling your business when you're not even there.
Okay. Next slide. So let's kind of break down how they work in a really...
Hey, Johnny, thanks for hopping on, buddy. Hope you're doing well.
So let's break down how do they work, right? So we're going to give you the typical store experience. So you're walking down the street and something catches your eye. And oh my gosh, this is a real life thing for us. It's a paddleboard in a window.
Yep.
You're interested. So you walk into the store, which is where you become a quote unquote lead, right? It's a marketing term.
Yep.
So somebody greets you and they start asking questions. And maybe they're like, hey, what caught your attention? Oh, that thing. Oh, well, what do you know about paddleboarding, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, this happened to us because we got a paddleboard caught our eye. We're like, this is what we want. And the salesperson started asking us questions, shared value, because he was an experienced paddleboard and he educated us. And what we discovered was we were going to buy the paddleboard that we didn't need.
Yeah.
Right. And we ended up buying a completely different thing. Now, it's awesome because, like it says here, you feel good about the interaction. You buy the paddleboard and you become a customer. Not only do you become a customer, but you become an advocate. We became an advocate of this store because, hey, this guy educated us. He prevented us from spending money we didn't need to spend to get what we needed to buy what we wanted, right? And now we're cheerleaders. We're like, hey, you need a paddleboard, you got to go see Jay, right?
Yeah. So here's the thing, this works the same in digital, but there's a couple little spots that are slightly different where people often mess up, right?
Yeah.
So you're scrolling the news feed, something catches your eye, a post, a story, a video, you're interested and click on that. When you click on that, you do become a lead for that person,
yes.
Right? Now we're going to go into the 3 mistakes that actually often happen at this point in people's megaphone, and we're going to break those down for you. So the good old verbal vomiting mistake.
Drop us a 5 if you've ever been like, whoa, I might have just shared a little too much. I've been there, I've done that. And oversharing can do it can do a few things. And a lot of times what it can do is it can push your prospect away because they're like, you given too much information, and it can push them to start doing their own research and cause you to lose control, right, Johnny?
Yes.
And it's so easy to just be like, oh my God, you can't believe this, and just keep rambling and going on and on. And when we're verbal vomiting, we're focusing on ourselves, right?
So think about the paddleboard example. If we walked into the store and we said, oh, that paddleboard's pretty cool, and the salesperson just started talking about how cool the paddleboard was and didn't ask us what caught our attention, that would be verbal vomiting.
Yeah, and how cool his experience was on the paddleboard and what he does with his paddleboard and blah, 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 and not caring about what we were interested in. That's what happens when you verbal vomit on somebody.
So not adding value. So that would basically just mean not taking a moment to educate about, okay, so, this is you're doing this type of paddleboard and, you're going to want thicker plastic or whatever that may be, or this certain type of paddle is really effective for whatever this may be, right?
And not understanding and asking questions. So adding value comes from asking questions. We talk about this all the time on our page. Mm-hmm. We talk about this, truly understanding how your product and or service can help your prospect, and maybe your product and or service can't. So again, it's adding value to your prospect's process by understanding.
Now, the next thing, a lot of people do this, especially online, you get these multiple decisions. So they don't make a powerful recommendation and connect you to the solution that's right for you upon asking questions. They just say, here's my link. And there's a whole bunch of stuff you could pick from here that might work for you. You could pick package number 41, 42, 55, combination 45, 52, right? People get to the checkout and they're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know why. I'm done. I'm out.
And the way this decision fatigue is created, guys, is typically because of verbal vomiting and because of not adding value and truly understanding how and if you can help your product or your prospect, right? So if you've done this right and you understand you haven't overshared, you've added value, by the time they need to make a decision, you can send them a very specific item. So now they don't have to start scrolling through trying to figure it out. So it's very precise in what you're doing.
Okay, so now here's another thing you might be thinking. Well, I've heard of these funnely things before, and maybe, I heard of it everywhere, and you're like, it just sounds really complicated, and it sounds like a complicated, tech-filled time suckers, and they need to be run by ads, right? So online funnels, fact is, they don't, right? And that's what we want to now show you is how we use very low tech to no tech free funnels, megaphones on Facebook. Okay, cool. All right, so here we go.
So the personal profile funnel. This is where we all start, right? And especially when we're getting new people started, we all have a personal profile on Facebook. So obviously the best place to start people. So number one, obviously posting valuable content, sharing information and stuff that people can actually gain some value from, gain some knowledge, right?
So when you're posting your valuable content, I see this all the time when we go and review our students' personal pages. They haven't made the post public, right? So they haven't put the little globe up. So how can somebody really see your post if everything you have is private, right? So really make sure that is public. That way, people that don't know you can be exposed to it. So someone's going to start to like or follow you based on the content that's shown in their newsfeed. Oh, they've qualified themselves as a lead, or you've met somebody and they come in and they start to like your stuff. At this point, this isn't where you start to pounce somebody because they've liked your post. And we see this happen all the time, right?
Yeah, we've actually seen trainings in the past where people say, well, if anybody even likes your post, reach out to them. Guys, they've expressed a little interest, but they're just a warm-ish prospect at this point, right?
Exactly.
So we continue to deliver value. This is a reoccurring thing. And this was something that reoccurred on the panel we were on at Digital Marketer Live. And that's constantly delivering value, giving your followers stuff to engage with and stuff that you can engage back with. Create conversation, create that connection, start to build that know, like, and trust, right?
Yeah. And then as you're building that know, like, and trust, you're going to put up a couple of posts that are more action driven with calls to action, right? And at that point, they're going to say, hey, more info, sounds cool, I'm in. Okay, then they truly become a prospect for you, right? Yeah. Because they've actually raised their hand. So now we're going to break it down for you. Sorry, you have something.
I think you missed 5.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I missed number 5. Okay.
So now is the chance when you can actually tell them about your product or solution to their problem, right? When they ask you about your product or service. That's when you can start a private conversation. Think about this, guys. Think how your business would change. Think how your conversations will change when people are saying to you, hey, can I learn more about what you're doing? Can I learn more about that product you're taking?
Okay, cool. Now I can skip ahead. So now I want to show you an example of one of the ways that we use this on our personal profile to attract our perfect strangers to us, right? So the first thing we always kind of start to do is we warm up our algorithm and we start to earn that engagement, right? So we're earning that attention and that relationship. And we're asking a couple of questions. So here on the left, you see a couple of different questions where we're seeking to understand people and get to know them. Then we will, in our mix, and we've talked about our mixtape training before. So if you haven't seen it, grab that training because it really breaks this down for everybody. So then we will put up a post with some education. So, maybe everybody's like, I'm relying on my gut for my decisions, but it makes me feel anxious. So the next post you put up is like, hey, this is some ways to recognize anxiety, right? And then we move over to, and we're really fortunate, our company has, we'll answer Shay's question in a second. So, we're really fortunate, our company has a quiz. And so we put up the quiz and we say, and this was actually a really powerful tool for us and was featured on Digital Networker Live. And so we put up our quiz, put up our story about taking our quiz, and then we get leads that way because people raise their hand and say, hey, cool, I want to take a quiz to know where my mental health is at and get some tips, right? So that is how you can really sift through people on your personal page and have them raising their hand so you don't have to go hunt, I would say, right?
Shay, for your question about the challenge with making things personal or public, I understand that. So when you are sharing stuff specifically towards your business, maybe more your power posts, your stuff that is strictly business directed, then you could make that public, right? You'll have to go in and select on each post what you're going to make public and what not. And then the stuff that you want to keep personal, you can keep personal by sharing to your selected list. That might be your best solution and for what you're doing, but we can connect further and chat about that in private as well.
Yeah. So that's how it works on a personal profile to have your megaphone. And the cool part about this is people take this quiz and they're like, oh, that was interesting. Then you can reach out to them and say, hey, what was your experience? What did you think?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm curious. Did your results from your quiz reflect what you are they accurate? Do you believe they're accurate to what to you?
To you. So it's very powerful. And then from there, you can create a megaphone. Why? Because other people will share that with other people. So you are going into other people's markets just by doing a simple act of having a valuable quiz.
Yeah, it's a very good way to taproot your warm markets market because they will start sharing. That is something, the megaphone becomes a way to tap into your warm markets market. So now you've got a relation to those people, right? You've got that kind of middle ground, that common ground with that other person. So it can be very, very powerful.
Yes, Johnny, it is all about starting conversations.
100%.
Conversations first.
Conversations, create relationships and connections, create that know, like, and trust. And that is when you create customers and business partners, right? And that's what we're looking for. And also, when we talked about this on Digital Marketer Live as well. And it's, when you're building your business, we all get these, incentive trips with our companies and everything. So when you're building your business, start thinking about, do I want to sit on the beach and drink a margarita or whatever it is, water, whatever it is you drink? Do I want to hang out on the beach with this person? Is this somebody I want to spend the rest of my life building a business with? When you start being selective and attracting the right people into your business, it changes how this business works, guys. Makes it fun.
Okay, so drop anything. We'd love to hear what you're getting from this. Did you have an aha moment thinking through things so far? And we'll move on to what we call the group megaphone, right? So we're going to break down two different ways that you can use your megaphone and funnel people into groups where there's really a specific community for them to get to know. So first thing you can do is you can start with your personal page post, right? So this is one from Beck, and we love this one. It's really simple. Like, want to learn how to get 5 good leads on social media? Training happened today. 80 comments. People are saying, yeah, cool. I love that. I love that. I love that. What does Beck do? Hey, that's happening in my group. Here's the link to join MLM Modern Blueprint. Come on over, get the training.
Yep.
Bang.
So this was now in another group. So this is responding to a post in a group. This is a way that you're finding. So we've talked about finding the groups where your perfect prospect hangs out, identifying your ideal customer and identifying their likes, their desires, their fears, their pains, all these things, and finding out where they hang out online. So you're in groups, you're interacting. So this was something that happened yesterday. So I'm curious, what's the best thing for anxiety? I put a response, about what I learned and how it kind of helped, and it was, educational. Thanks for sharing. I'm going to look into this, right? It was a reply, and I was just like, it's so worth it. I can send you a link to another group that has over 10,000 people in it with lots of testimonies and info in there as well. Please do. It was, it's a very simple way to start funneling people into your group. So from there, we entered that prospect into our product group where they get to learn more. And the funnel and Megaphone is working again there, because there is constant value being delivered, constant testimonies, stuff where you can take. We've all heard about the ad tag message group, so this is where you start leveraging that,
right? And all of the customers in that group have become, like Mike said, your advocate, right?
Yep.
So they're spreading the word for you, right? So you can use megaphones to take that to the next level, right? So your megaphones are your team builders. They're turning into your leaders.
Thanks, Johnny. Have a great live. We'll catch it for you.
Your megaphones are really helping you to spread the word. And you can even take your funnels a step further, or your megaphones a step further, and you can build out these systems for your team, right?
Yep.
So that you can help them follow a step-by-step process to become leaders.
Yep. And this is the best way for even your customers to be converted to team members, because when they see, wow, like Johnny is like so helpful. He's been so on it, like the best customer service. And it's really interesting what he's doing. I'm seeing how he's doing this. Then you can start tapping your customers who get interested into the system, and they can be like, oh, wow. Okay. Then now not only are they a customer, but they become a team builder. So their Megaphone just got put on like loud, right?
Like steroids. Okay. So now we have a challenge for you. If you're ready to level up, we have two options that we want to share today.
Yep. So the attraction marketing formula is a 188-page no BS guide to creating your online prospecting and recruiting machine on autopilot. It is what we use to turn our business around in 2017, and it has been completely game-changing. Inclusive in that is a private community of over 18,000 network marketers working together as a whole in a completely safe zone, a prospecting free zone where you can work together as a whole to build your business and really level up and learn what's working across the board in hundreds and hundreds of companies. It's really powerful community. So if you want to check that out, drop us an attraction marketing formula in the comments below. And the next option for you, if mental wellness is your jam,
yes,
we have partnered with the one and only mental wellness company. In the next 10 to 20 years of this industry will be dominated by mental wellness. And trust us when we say mental wellness is the missing link everyone is looking for. So we have a lot of cool things happening. We have no weird join fees, unique coupon codes that people can use to really, really help their customers get started, a full e-commerce strategy, success with or without building a team, and a social media launch and scale blueprint that is helping people literally blow their business up and get into action fast. So if that's something you want to check out, drop Mental Wellness Movement below, and we can connect and see if it is a fit for you. Guys, thank you so much for spending your time with us. We truly appreciate you. We're going to stop the screen share here. See if we can get back to seeing you guys.
Okay.
There we go. Woo, we did it. So yes, thank you so much for spending your time with us. We truly appreciate you. I'm off to a horse show. I'm already late. My daughter's going to lose her mind. Our daughter is going to lose her mind. Anyway, take care. Have a fantastic day. We will see you on Friday.